I'm going to just read one more passage, and then I think I'm just going to start rocking, because it's still fucking weird to read from a book. But I like it, and I like doing it here. This is, because I'm going to sort of start the other part of the book besides the music, which is being a dad. Here's about this next tune I'm going to play. We had one more tense night at the hospital. The first doctor had said the baby was coming for sure, and we waited for hours. Then the next doctor said to go back home with exactly the same level of calm certainty. I was furious, but I kept it together for Heather's sake. They put her on bed rest to be safe. We talked about what we do when it was finally really time. She said she didn't want any drugs because she was worried it would mess with the baby. She asked me to be a second line of defense because she figured she'd cave when the pain got crazy. In the delivery room, she looked up at me desperately and squeezed my hand even tighter. I told the doctor to hold off for a little longer. He glared at me. The baby came out just in time. She was bluish. They gave me a pair of rounded off scissors to cut the cord. Then they took her across the room to clean her off. When her wail let us know that her lungs had started working, she turned real to me. Our top name choices were Hannah if it was a girl, or Sage if it was a boy. When I was waiting for them to get wheeled out of the delivery room, the dispenser said Sage surgical gloves, so we kept it in there. In the elevator, the doctor talked to me sternly about how there could be only one boss when a baby was being born. I told him just as firmly that I was there to be supportive of Heather. Heather was worried because Hannah was so small, 5 pounds, 2 3/4 ounces. When Josh got there, I handed her to him and said, "This is my daughter." At first, I thought Nestle was about my dad. I had the beginning written, which seemed to make enough sense. We were talking pretty frequently at the time, and the more together he sounded, the more it hurt. He dreamt out loud about fixing up cars and driving them across the country to me. He could really tell a story. I wanted to believe it. He told me, "I've always been there for you, just not on this plane." The second part of the first verse sounded like me being confused and angry, like I'd felt when he said that, or after most of our conversations. It made less and less sense as it went into the chorus, though, because he had never realized, and he had let me go. Maybe it was a fantasy about how I wish it would have worked out. Maybe I was writing the voice I wanted to hear. I didn't know. The song sat there, half finished, until Heather's surprise pregnancy. I'd somehow been writing about my own fears of being a father before I even knew I was going to be one. I'm usually skeptical about stuff like that, and this felt instantly and irrefutably true, as impossible as it seemed. The second verse is one of the most literal things I've ever written. I was just relieved to know what was happening. I'm not sure about holy or ghosts, but Hannah really was a Holy Ghost when I wrote that, a mysterious beacon, and one actually was becoming the other. Over the course of 2 months in the summer of '94, my father died, I turned 25, and I became a father. The chorus finally made sense. It was me singing my commitment to Hannah.
Said anything
I was thinking of my Father, now a Holy Ghost. Now see one